Welcome into our biggest Friday night edition of Football Frenzy this year. He's Thad Brown. I'm AJ Feldman. We've shot past the midway point of the regular season. Playoffs on the horizon, teams jostling for positioning, and plenty of tight matchups tonight on the schedule.
None more exciting on paper than the battle for Webster. Thomas hosting Schroeder. Always one to circle on the schedule no matter what, but even more so when both teams are off the good starts as they are this season. Unsurprisingly, a packed house at Thomas for this one. Nowhere to park. They had 6 food trucks at the game, which turned out to be one of the big highlights, actually. This was not a high-scoring one. Late in the first half, no score. Alex DeRosa and Nathan DeMay, 31 yards inside the 5. A couple plays later, same combo finishes. 7-0 Warriors at the half. Third quarter, Thomas answers. Marley English, a 3-yard touchdown. Titans blew the hole in the extra point, so it's 7-6. Fourth quarter, David Pett steps in front for Thomas. Titans in business pass midfield. But on 4th and 6, Ryan Sigafoos, sweet pass breakup. Thomas never got a better look at scoring. Schroeder holds on to win 7-6.
This is the year of the PATs deciding games, folks.
Yeah.
Homecoming for Hilton. They're playing host to Monroe and company. We go to the second quarter. Hilton up 10-6. Trace Letcher finds a lane on the outside and walks in for the score. It's 17-6 at the half. Monroe keeps fighting. Noah Hill-Billings to Roberto Robinson, turns it upfield and sprints past the Hilton secondary for 6. Monroe within striking distance. 17-12 in the fourth quarter here. Hilton trying to put this one away. It's Tyler Letcher. Nicholas Castellana. Deep pass to put this game out of reach. Hilton holds on for the win, 24-18.
Arcadia trying to stay hot, pull the upset at Canandaigua tonight, but the Braves just not having it. Barely 3 minutes in, Brady Camella short TD at 7-zip. 14-0 lickety split after that. Later in the first, Brian Boulder and Elliot Morgan. Now watch, loses a shoe right there, still finishes, goes 29 yards for a score, and then he confirms, yes, in fact, he is -1 shoe. Second quarter, Boulder into Morgan again, this time 20 yards and with 2 shoes. Braves roll to 5-0. They win 54-18.
They were even trying to handicap themselves. That's how good Canandaigua is. Over at Aquinas, undefeated Little Irish hosting 2-2 Rush Henrietta. Scoreless in the first quarter. Will Benjamin, he did not play last game with a toothache. His teeth were feeling fine here, and so were his feet. Staying patient, breaking tackles, 31 yards for the touchdown. It's 7-0. Later in the quarter, it's Benjamin. Once again, we promise you, this is not the same play, just looks very similar. Nobody could tackle him today. 181 yards on the ground. It's 13-0 Aquinas. And he'd do a little bit in the air. This time it's Michael White to, of course, Benjamin. AQ wins big. They take this one 50-22.
I do not want to imagine the toothache that would keep a football player out of a game. That must have been some pain. Pittsford and Victor Marching Band putting on a show at halftime. Rough night for the team, though. Down 21-7 at the half. Third quarter, Jack Armanini, the interception for Pittsford. A little later, Victor can't handle the punt. Rex Idland covers for the Panthers. He can't come back if he can't keep the ball. Pittsford goes on to win 27-7.
Let's head into the city of Rochester as UPrep was hosting Gates Chiley at the downtown stadium. Scoreless with time winding down in the first quarter. Clyde Davis up top to Mark McClary. Beautiful pitch and catch. That makes it 6-0. In the second quarter, the Spartans answer with a nice pass play of their own. Jonathan Vance Refrigeration. He finds Neftali Cruz. That would set up a Demarion Mewborn touchdown. We are tied at 6.5. But the second half was the half of Ray Kim Chenier. First play of the third quarter. Bust through some arm tackles. You're going to have to do a little bit better than that. He found me. He knows where I am. Keep that in mind. He would score another touchdown to make it 22-6. Then later in the third, busts off another and poses for the camera at basically the 5-yard line. That's right, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. Thank you for that, Ray Kim. UPrep, big win today, 42-12, your final.
I bet the Vance kid never heard that line before, ever, by the way. Not once. Heading over to Greece, Eastridge and Olympia Odyssey both seeking win number 1. Griffin's down 6-zip in the first. Zymir Jackson scrambling all around, eventually finds Jihad Faison, who does a lot of work on his own after the catch, and Olympia Odyssey takes an 8-6 lead. Still in the first, Lancers would answer. Kaquan Webster lofts it up to Amir Proctor, and Proctor comes down with the ball and 6 points. Eastridge goes up 14-8. Second quarter, Lancers by 5. Jaden Gamble eventually finds the end zone, though he would need a little bit of help from his friends. Push him in there, guys. Shove him in. It's a team effort, folks. Eastridge gets their first win of the year, 49-36.
Athena hosting Spencerport, the unbeaten Rangers. First quarter, we have no score in this one. Spencerport tries to go deep, as they rarely do, but this time it's Jaden Sample coming up with a nice interception for the Trojans. We're scoreless after the first quarter, but Spencerport, they decide to start scoring some points. Brenton Sheffield makes a few men miss, and he is off to the races for the first touchdown of the game. Spencerport up 8-0. Later in the second, Cameron Mesh, he's in for another touchdown. That puts Spencerport up 24-6, and they keep on rolling. 46-6 your final. They are 5-0 on the season. And another undefeated team, McQuaid, they were taking on Fairport. Knights up 21-7 to start off the second half. John Mahar, this is how you split two defenders.
Wow!
I do not know how he got that in there, but Paris Smiley is very happy that he did. He scores to make it 28-7. That would be your final, and the Knights move to 5-0 on the season.
Coming up after the break, we're going to split the coverage a little less deftly. The Bills dealing with some injury problems for the first time all season. We'll tell you about them.
And with just 3 games to go, the AL wildcard race as tight as ever. But first, here's some more Section 5 scores.
Chaos scenario is still alive. If Toronto wins 2 and the Yankees lose 2 and Boston splits over the weekend, all 3 will be tied for at least one playoff spot, with Seattle potentially making it a 4-team tie, and then it's bananas on Monday.
I'm a big fan of chaos.
Big fan of bananas myself,
big fan
too, yes. That's all the time we have for you tonight. We'll be back tomorrow as Week 5 of the football season will wrap up.
That's right. Brighton looks to stay undefeated, taking on a feisty Penfield team for homecoming, while HFL tries to stay unbeaten as well, setting up a big clash with Batavia next week.
And some good local college football. The Courage Bowl is tomorrow. Fisher hosting Brockport. Always a great game and always for a great cause.
Well, that's all the time we got for you. We hope to see you back here tomorrow. Stephen Colbert, he's coming up next. For Thad Brown, I am AJ Feldman. Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a great night.